Welcome to my studio in Westwood. Today I'm gonna do lots of stuff here, setting up my 2-day sessions. And I decided to introduce you double traditional, or I call it symmetrical traditional grip. And you might say, what the heck? What did you say? I barely play a regular traditional grip, and now you're saying double traditional grip. Yeah, I know, it looks unusual, but it feels fantastic. And also it is something we can learn right now as alternative technique for the sound, speed, and control. I'm not kidding you. There is something in here is really working great for me, and possibly it will work for you. So here's beautiful Thomas Snare Drum, and I'm gonna set it up flat, absolutely flat, no angles whatsoever. And I'm going to show you how I do this. So this is my warm-up routine. While I'm setting up, I'm taking my time, taking one piece at a time, and making sure that actually my technique is getting better and better, because it's actually very difficult to retrain my right hand to do this. But why I think it's important to do, I can tell you, if you ever been in a gym, and I probably think you were, if you ever did exercise for your hands or biceps, and I bet you were, so I did too. And number one muscle, every man wants to get bigger. Yeah, and that too. But biceps is a very, very important muscle. And if you want to work out bicep, that's how we do it. Either it's going to be a special machine, you pump in the muscles, or separate weights, like gantellis. And of course, if you have just one stick, it will be hard to operate. But if you have two sticks, so what's stopping me and you to try this new technique? Why it's important? Well, because it's actually natural balancing of your own body, mind, and spirit. You probably noticed for the past few months I've been exclusively making videos only with this grip, and now I had certain regulations, I had certain understanding coming to me, explaining why it worked for me and what I'm doing. And what I'm doing, I'm playing with click tracks, I'm playing with loops, where precision is a must-have, and also stamina. So when we use our hands this way, palms down, we use up to 27, 28, sometimes 30 muscles in our hands and body per hand. Back, shoulders, wrists, just to make this motion. And yet still everybody trying to outdo each other, including themselves, run into hand problems, carpal tunnel syndromes, me included. I've done share of my mistakes. Studying French grip, finger technique, everything just to make their life easier. And Godspeed. If it works for you, fine. But I've been in this drumming development and playing for 45 years. And I noticed there is a missing link in drum technique. Why I noticed? Because it's simple math. If we have traditional grip where one stick goes sideways, usually in the left hand, and one stick with palm down, another palm up. So people play hi-hats, snare drums, tom-toms. It's kind of classical way, like Buddy Rich was playing, Steve Gadd is playing, Stuart Copeland. Now we have left-handed traditional grip players also. I don't see many, but I saw some. And now, probably 90% of musicians and drumming enthusiasts, they're playing palms down technique of French grip, holding sticks this way. Okay, and to that day, I don't see much improvement in thinking or sound compared to John Bonham, who died 50 years ago. Okay? So something is missing here. However, I know that drummers who use a traditional grip are most likely have long, successful career, like Steve Gadd and Stuart Copeland again, or Vinny Colaiuta, or even Charlie Watts. Yes, he's passed away recently, rest in peace, Charlie, but his simplistic pocket is a cornerstone of success of Rolling Stones as a band, as a unit. While Beatles drummer expertise, Ringo, I have nothing against Ringo. He's a great soul. However, he never used traditional grip. And then they shifted into playing in studios, and they got disbanded, and Ringo became singer and songwriter. So pretty much, you know, Ringo was out of loop, even though he's alive and well, and I'm really happy about it. Peace and love, Ringo. He never played traditional grip. While Charlie Watts was looking around, looking at the guys in New York and everywhere in America where he went to clubs, digesting how people were holding sticks, how they were playing. That was his favorite thing to do in New York. And Charlie Watts also was persuaded by his own drum tech when they had some kind of aesthetical rivalry with Beatles to try traditional grip. So Charlie did, and his famous groove, I know it's only rock and roll, but I like it. I know it's only rock and roll, but I like it. Yes, I do. That's it. That's all Charlie played with different speed all his entire career. And guess what? You can question his right hand intensity, it was just timing. But his packet of snare drum was right there. I know it's only rock and roll, but I like it. I know it's only rock and roll, but I like it. Yes, I do. So now let's try it with left hand this way and right hand this way. I know it's only rock and roll, but I like it. I know it's only rock and roll, but I like it. I know it's only rock and roll, but I like it. For me, it takes some time to get used to. I'm right-handed. But what I do now is about to set up all my entire system with 10 hi-hats, 5 snare drums, 4 tom-toms and 2 floor toms symmetrically, which I call unified grand drum set, whereas there is right and left absolutely symmetrical. And I decided to put also small hi-hat right next to my stomach in belly button. So instead of holding my stick and pulling my shoulder and getting my balance thrown off every time I play to the right or left, I have hi-hat, snare drum and kick drum, yes, all in one line, because I use symmetrical double bass pedals. So let's try again. I know it's only rock and roll, but I like it. I know it's only rock and roll, but I like it, yes I do. Works. One more time. I know it's only rock and roll, but I like it. I know it's only rock and roll, but I like it. Yes, I do. I know it's only rock and roll, but I like it. I know it's only rock and roll, but I like it. Yes, I do. I know it's only rock and roll, but I like it. I know it's only rock and roll, but I like it, yes I do. I know it's only rock and roll, but I like it. I know it's only rock and roll, but I like it. So everything will be fine, and I felt very comfortable playing this way, because that's what you do as a drummer. You conduct the time. So you play groove for hours. Like Keith Richards said, groove is the king. Well, actually, that's I said. Or Steve Gadd said. What Keith Richards said, solos come and go, but great riff is forever. And great riff, it's only when you know how to groove. And believe me, you can question Rolling Stones' aesthetics, or music, or lyrics, but one thing they're good at, groove and longevity. They proved all entire world that having fun and doing things right at the moment, musically, help to extend their careers, have more fun, share this fun with people, share the love. So let's continue. You will say, wait a second, and where is hi-hats? Well, you're about to see. So let's turn this snare drum only, which was snare drum only. It was instrument for country and jazz for many, many years, just one instrument in recording sessions. And they were fine with it. So snare drum is classical piece of orchestral percussion, and we can't underestimate. But what it is pretty much like frame drum from East. It sounds like darbuka or djembe, something like that. So let's play simple Eastern rhythm. And to it, let's add some leg work. I don't have pedals right now, but all I have to do to engage my legs, 1, 2, 3, is raise them up on my calves and start tapping. Yes, it's very popular word lately, tapping. 1, 2, 3, 4. But wait, I got something special for you and me. I could hear my legs, so I'm gonna bring 30 belly dance bells on each leg. This is special percussion. People on East put on their legs, ankles. So when they dance, they hear their own rhythm and they play to the rhythm and dance to the rhythm. So dancer becomes musician with a simple device. Now, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, Wait a second. You say, I hear bells a little bit different. What happened? Good question. From being on top of my toes, you know, like walking on eggshells, I switched to flat-footed, where I firmly just drop legs to the ground. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3. And I'm balancing with my core a little bit backwards. Because if I balance forward, I can't move. Now, I'm working out my abdominals. I'm gonna get six-pack. Just watch me in a couple months. So let's go with the flow. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Wow, that felt great. I can play it for hours. So now you see where it's coming from, huh? Complete balance. It's like dancing sitting on a chair. And for years I was using backrest. Now I don't use any backrest. Matter of fact, right now I'm using very simple chair by great company Pearl. Description below. It's called Speed Seat. Speed Seat. By it's probably good 40 years old chair, which happened to be in my practice room, which belonged to a friend of mine who co-rented this place with me. Thank you, friend, for bringing this. And usually I use Tama first chair, also owned by another friend, which is cushy and nice, but very little things making huge difference. So what I discovered, that if I sit on actually simple firm chair, I can feel my support. You have two bones, you know, behind where legs coming from, right? So it's important with both for good balance for the drummer, especially if you play metal. dance music or some kind of blues gig. It's very important to feel both sides of your bone structure on a chair. So this way we're not going to be playing this way for a long period of time. I've done that and I'm still dealing with problems created to my spine. It's called scoliosis. So now with this technique, I simply can play anything in any style with my Need to replug my camera. Right. Okay. So let's go further. So conceptually, it is possible. If you're looking for better ways to play drums, this is one of them. And why it is possible? Well, there is one important thing drum set have. You can completely redesign it to your needs anytime. And that ability of the drums, I must say, saved my life from different illnesses related to the drumming many times. It was painful but bearable, and then I was finding a way out from all kinds of hand or spine or even head problems. One thing I never lost love for playing drums. That's why you see this video right now. So here's some red balls. Hello. By the way, this is my new way to practice. These rubber balls, they cost $1.54 plus tax in dollar store. They are rubber. All you have to do, just simply, carefully poke the hole here and insert it, and it becomes an amazing tool for the sound and jumpy feeling. And you can exercise the jumpy feeling anytime you want. There is many ways you can hold the sticks this way, actually. You just see I'm holding sticks. Weird. Who is holding sticks like that? Nobody. If you see anyone, please send me a link in commentary. I would like to see this person. But I'm playing like this, back and forth with this kind of grips for pretty much almost 40 years, 40. So I have actually bragging rights to talk about this technique and share it with you. It's truly amazing if you keep doing it and combining with your known techniques. It's never gonna hurt you. It's actually gonna make you a better player. I do believe that. Why? Because simple. If you go in the gym, what do you see there? Pair of dumbbells? No. You see hundreds of different machines for any group of muscles, including sneezing. When you sneeze, there is a machine for that. So let's go. I'm about to bring my superior invention, combined snare drum stand with hi-hat. It's called snare hats. Yes, it will set up combination of snare drum, this snare drum, with pair of 10-inch hi-hats together in one area. And I have different positions for this hi-hat. Usually I use hi-hat next to my stomach, but sometimes I put hi-hat on the right and left and work this open area like you usually would. And of course I have my 7th hi-hat system in front. So altogether I'm planning to use in this session from 1 to 8 hi-hats. 1 here and 7 here. But first and foremost, minimalism is a must thing. So kick drum, check. Snare drum, check. Hi-hat, check. These 3 instruments give you a drum set. And my kick drum not here and hi-hat is not here. My kick drum is here and hi-hat here and snare drum here. So it's all in one line. And yes, you bet, instead of just playing drums, it turned into the show. Because I guarantee you, you like me were staring at these jumping balls, right and left, all the time. Because they're just so cool. And you probably was amazed that I'm holding sticks in this particular timeless music piece just with one thumb on each hand. I call this method hovering, when you hover above the ground. Remember Back to the Future when this dude jumped on a high-tech hovering skateboard and start float above the ground? That's how it feels like. Whatever I've done with this positional palms, I never could get the same feeling. Why? Because it is different breathing process. When we hold sticks like this, we open our lower abdomen system for full breathing. Full breathing. Stomach, chest, shoulders. Push down, shoulders down. I will do soon video with my torso open so you can see how I can breathe counting time with my stomach and playing quarters here. I guarantee you will be amazed how great it feels also. Now, did you see I just brought my spine up, kind of like grew, about 4 inches. Yeah, that's our pivotal point in our core. We have to learn to use it properly too. Slouching is not a very good idea, just all the time slouching like lots of drummers do. So once in a while it's a good idea to stretch our spine and get some breathing air through the nostrils. Let's play triplets now. And by the way, do you know what I'm also doing right now? I'm gauging my own actions. I also feel, by not looking to snare drum, but looking at the camera. And I still have to relax and pay attention to my right side, but it's getting better. And where I do it, I just make sure that amplitude of strokes with right hand and left hand somewhat equal. That's why I have this beautiful necklace which represents sun. My name is Sundrum, S-U-N-D-R-U-M, and last name is Livecat, L-I-V-E-C-A-7. Remember that mouse? Well, he's dead. Hey, Joel. No, you're okay. You'll make it. I love Joel. Great producer, great tracks. But he can't play drums. But he recorded some awesome tracks like FML. Listen to it. It's just genius. 1, 2, 3, 4. So now I'm actually learning how to play FML live. 1, 2, 3, 4. So let me keep moving, and I'm gonna bring my timeless invention. Combination snare drum stand with hi-hat, which will put snare drum and finally and hi-hat into cohesive relationship. Not here, tin, din, 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 not there, tin, din, din, not here, but one instrument, one field, with beautiful energy. Ta-da! Ta-da! Ready? Ta-da! Ta-da! Ta-da-da! Ta-da-da! And here it is. It's a very simple contraption, but I have to warn you, you have to find a stand which helps you mount snare drum, like that, and it will be exactly angle you like. So I would recommend Gibraltar stand, link in description, which have this awesome clutch. And this is very simple setup. So additional hi-hat mounts on X-hat, which mounted to the stand. And this is super lightweight stand, very easy to work with. And yes, I alternate very often. For years I was playing with 2 hi-hats on each side of the snare drum, and now for the past year or so I play with hi-hat next to my stomach and 7 hi-hats outside of the system, which give me lots of great voicing. So switch gonna be pretty much painless right now. I'm taking the snare drum of the regular stand, which I'm gonna use later for the same snare drum and turn it into my satellite snare drum. But for now, since I love Tama snare drums, this one is called Superstar Classic Maple Shell snare drum. This is reissue. It's not old one. I like old one too, but this is great snare drum as well. And I insert it right here. So you will see how easy to digest this idea. Just simple addition. When you was a kid, remember your little car pushing pedals? Me too. And there's a steering wheel. Hi-hat sound. Crown chakra sound. Tsi-tsi-tsi. The most used sound in all music industry. And I'm gonna take off this now. Actually, not yet, because I have tinnitus, so I like to warm up without not too much noise. And I'm gonna wiggle some muffling here. So what happens, usually, if you take a look at your snare drum setup, there is always distance between your stomach and snare drum, just even a little bit, but that was enough for me to think, aha, if I play funk, it is 16 notes on hi-hat I have to play per bar. holding stick sideways. That's how I got breathing problems on my right side, because for years I was playing this 16 notes position, tilting my torso. Not good if you want to play a long time and happy. So now we have any kind of grip, you still can use it as supplementary hi-hat. And of course, you might disregard this idea, but you might find it useful. I cannot live without this hi-hat anymore. I gotta have it. And I can comfortably hit rim shots, I can hit any surface in the drum, and hi-hat at the same time. And why you think I need it? Just because I like to play paradiddles everywhere, including snare drum and hi-hats. And when I play paradiddles here, I can't play them like I would on my practice spot. Check this out. Now, let's enter to different era of drumming. This one. Wherever I played with palms down, I can play with palms up. A little bit slower, but with much more comfort. And if you're concerned about playing big beat, B-I-G-B-E-A-T, that's all you want. You want hovering. Remember, when the levy breaks, I'm gonna play it with my special percussion bells on my legs. Now you understand where I'm going with that. To heaven on earth. So all you beat makers and groove makers, this is the way you can actually make computer your friend. When you play with click tracks or loop machines or iPods, if you're responsible for keep timing and solid beat, this is one of the best way to make yourself and your band happy. what you mean more? Well, so you can actually see, and I can see, how my legs working. I have this nice new little trick. That's why I call it Horus Project. Watchful eye, third eye. I'm not only closely listening myself, but also I'm watching myself. It takes time and courage to do things differently, but once they start working for you and me, there is no better feeling. Some people will think it's outrageous, and I love it. One more time. So this is how I perceive four-way coordination. Did you see what happened? I switched, yes. So we can play right side, parallel, right foot and right leg, left foot and left leg, or crisscross. You see what I mean? So consciously I'm trying to pull up my ability to play comfortably whole notes, quarter notes, half notes, 8 notes, 16 notes, triplets comfortably in melodic patterns, which is one hand or one leg after another. Or crisscross. Which is practically the same thing. It's just mentally I have to be more prepared for it. So I'm switching whenever I can. So hi-hat represents crown chakra, snare drum represents heart chakra, and where is our root chakra? Bass drum. Wow! Let's go. Let's go with the flow. It's coming. It's coming. It's coming. I'm gonna bring camera down. So you can see the beauty of my invention, symmetrical double bass pedal. Disclaimer, I don't own patent, but I work with a great company who makes these pedals. And this US company, and here they are, offset symmetrical double bass pedals. All of them. Exactly 40 years ago, I created 100 prototypes and sold them. And a few years later, I noticed advertisement in Modern Drummer, same pedals were for sale as well. Well, similar pedals. So I called the owner and we made a great conversation. And yes, he invented them by himself because it's actually a common idea. It's like bicycle, right in the middle. Works all the time. So I'm gonna, so you can see the rest of setup, because we're about to bring my beautiful kick drum made by Tama. Okay, looks nice. So as you can see, it's actually a very simple idea, but let me tell you a little bit more about it. Because I know for 90% of you it's very unusual, but take a look at your bicycle. What's unusual about it? It's a balance, and you're pushing the pedals and going anywhere you want, right? Same thing. I'm not inventing the wheel, I just improving the wheel, improving application. So I discovered that today I'm gonna play flat-footed, yet to determine the tension of the pedals. I'm gonna work with it. But let's start somewhere. I simply put my pedals here and adjust position of the pedals simply by sliding towards on the carpet. That feels good. I want to make sure that my both legs feel comfortable and the same, symmetrical, because we're talking about alignment of the spine. If you throw alignment of your spine, you are done. Remember this. So eyes of Horus watching you. If you keep playing in this position, I feel for you, but I'm not going this way anymore. I just want to meditate and play simple beat. You hear me? Yes. When the levy breaks, starts from that. Have me turn amps to 11, put some reverb, and production of Jimmy Page and ferocity of John Bonham, and boom, bah, boom, bah, which you're about to see, all coming together at once, with quiet beat and loud beat. When the levee breaks, not much you can do. Run for life. And that is true. When the levee breaks, not much you can do. Run for life. And that's what I do. Boom, bam. And matter of fact, I'm starting this session with bass drum, which tuned exactly like bonzo drum. It's beautiful. Tama Mirage, Silver Star, limited edition. Unfortunately, they don't make them anymore like that. Unfortunately for you, but not for me. Let's play. So there is nothing inside there, and I'll start playing with balls, and then I take off the balls. So remember, okay, boom, 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 boom. When the levee breaks, that's funny. You know what was it? It's my beautiful 7 hi-hat system was responding. Here it is. 7 hi-hats tunable here. They're gonna get inserted soon. You'll see them. But for now, I'm gonna put them in the corner. Luckily I didn't break anything. But, you see what I mean? How much power this beat has? Okay, so now we're riding the wave, we're riding the bicycle, we're riding motorcycle. Okay, next move is very simple. I'm gonna put my balls in my pocket for now, so you can hear hi-hats and snare. Uh-oh, it's getting loud. Protection is advisable because I have severe tinnitus, my ears ringing all the time. Matter of fact, I blew my left ear during playing New Year parties this year. I was playing high pitch right cymbal on this side, and unfortunately it's ringing more than I want. So let's go. Alright, that sounds good to me for now, and I'm gonna stop this live broadcast so I can turn camera around and add additional classic 2 hi-hats to the right and left, which will constitute right and left-handed drum set together, and it will give me 2 more instruments to the right and left, and opening hi-hat and closing hi-hat in all kinds of combinations with right leg, left leg, all together. It's called bilateral setup, part of unified grand drum set. All right, thank you for watching this part, and I